If you have a 2004 Honda Pilot and your floors are feeling kind of soft, take a look at yours to make sure you don't have this issue. This is the Fred Flintstone vehicle right now, and I'll be showing you how to patch this so you can get just a few more years out of your older Honda Pilots. The first step is removing your seat. There's two bolts, one here, one there up front, and then there are two in the back. There is one here and one there. Two bolts. They're all 14 mil. To access them, you will need to move the seat forward and backward just a little bit, just to get maximum amount of coverage, and then your seat will fold out or come down like this. And now's a good time to vacuum because you'll be pulling parts of the carpet anyway. So this is what we're currently looking at. Whatever was held on here, I'm guessing a bracket of some sort, gone. The spring for the parking brake, whatever connected to, gone. Parking brake does work. And then this rubber matting for sound deadening. That's partially why it's rusting so bad, because all that rust is right under it. Every time I remove some, there's more and more rust. But I'm going to get this cleaned off as best as I could. Yeah, I'll clean this off as best as I can with a wire wheel and see how bad the damage is and start picking our patch panels to fix this with. So we now have a slightly more defined hole. This part up here will still need to be cut out. All this has been done with pretty much a snip, and then whatever else wasn't coming out, I chiseled and hammered to get out. My main struggle right now is these cables for the parking brake are stuck. They're seized, they don't turn, so this part I can't move at all. Like, I can't remove for more space, so that's how it's gonna have to be. But now we're slightly getting more aggressive in our methods because I'm getting tired and the snips don't really fit in everywhere. So we're heading over to our grinder with the little rotary tool. So I'm gonna try using grinding discs or cutting discs and cut out a little bit more of this cancer. There are two layers to this, right? So I hope you can see. So this part right here, this is the top layer, obviously. That's the actual floorboard. And then the bottom is the actual frame. Like this big frame. And then this tiny floorboard is actually just sandwiched on top, probably spot welded. So I'm only after the top part. I'm not cutting down the bottom, at least I hope not. We never know how that ends. So it's just this top part I'm trying to remove, and then I'll put a sheet steel over it, like thicker, maybe 1/8 inch or thicker depending on what I got on hand once I clean this up. And then I'll just weld thicker steel to it, and then it'll be even better than new, without rust, without any noise, no dirt, no nothing. So here we have it, currently a hole with some of this that'll get hammered down and still cut out. And then right up to here. I'm not quite sure what to do right here, because that whole piece is compromised, but I don't know how far I can go without taking nearly the whole car apart, because I don't want to dig into this stuff. So I'm not sure how far I'll actually go. I might just weld to this piece and hope for the best up there, because it's going to keep spreading. But at this point, I mean, the car is over 20 some years old. I don't know how much life it has left in it, so I don't want to do a great job and then, you know, the engine go out next month and back to square one. So that's currently where we're at. I gotta clean it up a little bit. Probably hit it with the die grinder and try and get as much rust off as possible, and then start looking through patch panels. And we're back. Today is a new day, and unfortunately not a good start to the day. I decided to peek under the gas pedal, just because yesterday I noticed a little bit of rust and I thought I'd investigate. And that investigation led to the discovery of more rust right under the gas and brake pedal, right here where the seam is. So I had to take the center console out, right? And then this air duct is connected to the one on the other side, and then this whole entire middle section has to come out to get this air duct out. Well, I mean, it's plumbed up for literally, here's the Freon for the air conditioning, and the other side uses the antifreeze for the heat. So I'm not all about to dig that up and start messing with it. But I think there is Freon leaking. Because I noticed some wet spots down there, so I think it is leaking somewhere. That's not a problem for today, it's a problem for another day, another year, another car. So yeah, where I got this thing held up by some small bungee straps. It might deform like that, but I'll put it back down, clamp it with the seat, and it should hopefully stay the other way, or heat it up or something. But yeah. I was ready to weld the patch panel in here and in here until I started tearing it apart, and I have a bad feeling this project might be a little over my pay grade, a little bit more involved than I thought, so I will be skipping a large part of the how-to section just for time, because I mean, I've been at it 4 hours now and I'm barely making any progress. This is a progress report of the end of day 2, where I'm just about done working on it. You can see I refined this cut a little bit more. I had to cut out the middle, and then I had to do quite some cutting right over here, because it was pretty bad. This metal right here, completely solid. This metal right here, completely solid, except it's cut, but I'll weld that later. This metal completely solid right here, so that sums up the end of the cutting. Next, probably tomorrow, I'll be grinding down as much of the rust as possible to get a clean surface. This will be TIG spotted, so I was going to continuously seal everything, but if spot welds are good enough for the factory, they're good enough for this repair, because I've already spent, this is the 3rd day on it. So I'll just spot weld and then use body filler or liquid nails or whatever to seal it in for the time being, because spot welds are pretty sturdy as long as they're spot welded right. And yeah, that's the way I decided to do it. Instead of running beads and sealing everything in, I'll run out of argon before I even finish up 2 of them, and that's a lot of welding too. So on a car that isn't worth that much argon. When you're cutting, you want to use the least amount of metal possible, and to do that, you will need a template. So there's a few different ways to make a template. My favorite is the method I sort of created, where I just take blue painter's tape, and then I put it around where the, how far I want it to go, and it's all painter's tape, so it'll stick to each other, and I just build it up, and then increase the lines this way, and then a few stabilizing lines that way, and then peel it off, and then usually add 1 or 2 on the back to keep it all in shape. And then I will transfer that drawing onto CAD cardboard and double check that it in fact is how I want it. So this is good to cut. I just transfer this template onto a piece of, I think I'm using 16 or 14 gauge steel, cut it out, and it's good to weld in. So this is another day of working on the car. Last time I didn't get this on video at all, but I cut out and shaped this metal, which really sucked to do. Took a few hours just to get it right and get it settled in and get the parking brake cables in there. That's done. Those are the previous 2 repairs. Now all I have to do is tack this in and then silicone it up. Well, probably clean off all the rust with the wire brush. Silicone it in, and then after that hit it with some primer and some fresh paint to keep it rust free for a few more years, and should be good. But it's really windy, so I doubt I'm going to be getting some good tack welds with the TIG torch, because every tiny bit of gas or every tiny bit of air is going to be blowing away my argon. But I'm just going to do the best that I can. As you know, you're not supposed to TIG weld rust, because it's just going to be splattering on your tungsten and everywhere else, but I prefer this much more to flux core, so that's what I'll be doing. So this is how everything looks right now. I went ahead, primered, and black painted all the rust, everything I touched, and stuff that I didn't even touch. And then went ahead, and this is matte 66, kind of like Dino Matte. So I covered all the bottom with this stuff, so it'll dampen the noise really well. And since I removed some of the old factory rubber underlining, I decided to put this stuff in. All that's left is figure out what to do with this hole for the emergency brake cables, and then I can put the carpets back. I can put all this other miscellaneous stuff that's just laying here back, and then should be good to drive.